Welcome, friends! It is I, Scarf, and it's time for the vlog. And in the background is No Man's Sky. Yep, I can run it. Yup. We'll talk about No Man's Sky in a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about the channel. Let's see here, look in the calendar and everything. So, this week, I believe we're gonna start up on, is it? Yep, Batman. We're gonna have Batman starting up this week, so that's gonna be cool to see. TellTale series, really good. It is really good. I finished it already. It's good. This is a good Batman story. I like it a lot. You spend a lot of time on Bruce Wayne besides Batman, and that's what it should be. It should be both sides of the coin there, and it's pretty good. It's very entertaining. I cannot wait to see the next episodes of that game for sure. Definitely. It's a lot like Wolf Among Us. Like, if you saw that LP, you can make some choices here and there, which will affect a little bit here and there, but the way Wolf Among Us worked was every choice you made eventually affected the ending outcome of the game. So I'm wondering if it's going to be the same thing for Batman, where the choices we make throughout will affect the complete ending of the whole thing. I'm assuming it will, and that should be interesting. Since this is their own universe, like we're going not at the beginning, but somewhere around. Batman's been at it for a little bit, so this is when Batman and the police aren't really buddies yet. So it is around the beginning, so it's early on, and so they have made certain characters interact with Batman in this way, this and that way, or Bruce Wayne, and so they're making their own kind of beginning with it. Now, that's usually what happens when you make a game. You have to make your own universe, unless it's based on one of the books, or based on one of the movies and stuff like that. So, they're doing their own version of Batman. I'm liking where they're going with it, and so anything could happen. They could kill any villains they want, they could kill any heroes they want, whatever. They can do whatever they want with this, because they're making their own universe of it. That is what I'm liking, and I'm very curious what they're going to do with it. That is for dang sure. And we'll see how it goes forward. What else is there? Overwatch. We're going to have some ranked games in there, and then some other stuff. Lucio Guide just came out. Junkrat Guide comes up next. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Tank. I don't know if I want to do Roadhog. It's going to be Roadhog, Winston, Diva, or Zarya. I might do Diva's worth considering. I'll put up a vote to see what people want. Diva's worth considering because they shouldn't be changing her anymore. She feels a lot better now. She should be fine. But we'll see on that one. Let's see here. Overwatch giveaways. I think what I'm going to do is every time we open a loot box in Overwatch, if we get a legendary, I'll do a giveaway that episode just for fun. Just like, yeah, we got a legendary. That might be a funny thing to do. New projects. Me and Jinx are doing a couple projects. They should be fun. You'll probably see one in a couple weeks. You know how we are. We're always experimenting with more things so we can improve ourselves. And you'll see how that goes, and it's going to be rough, but we're going to definitely want feedback, and you'll see it in like 1 or 2 weeks. What else is there? Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. We're going to definitely cover that when it releases. Like, we'll probably buy it day of, and then it'll be like a couple days later it'll come out. If we could get a video on launch, the only way that'll happen is if we get a review code. If we can get a review code, we'll definitely do that. And then there's another game I want to LP as well. But school starting up around that time, so we should see a slowdown on, maybe, I don't know how we're going to do it, but output should slow down, but you know how crazy we are, we'll probably just keep it up, but we'll see how it goes with that one. I'm just really looking forward to Mankind Divided. That's going to be an interesting LP. It's going to be a slow LP, though. It's going to be on the lines of Fallout 4, because there's stealthing in that game, there's combat, there's a lot of things you can do with that game. And there's a lot of investigation in those kinds of games because it's Deus Ex. So there's going to be like fast-paced missions, and there's going to be like slow-paced burning towards next missions. And then there's going to be the debate. I hope there's still debate bosses. I hope they kept that, because that was one of my favorite things, was conversation bosses. It was so cool in Human Revolution, so I'm hoping that's still there. And I'm just looking forward. I'm really looking forward to that. That's it for the channel stuff. Let's see here. Oh, unboxings. Okay, we're gonna get the gaming loot crate, I think, loot box, which should get here in September. I think it's gonna come out in September, so it's really weird how the loot crates are. We're gonna get the gaming one, have it in September, unless they give it to you sooner than that, the sooner you buy it, I'm not sure. There should be another unboxing eventually in the future. It's gonna be a different kind of unboxing. I'll just give it away. Some sort of food unboxing company or something like that. They contacted us. We're going to be affiliated with them, and we're gonna. What happens is they send us a box of food, and then we try it out on camera. Well, I try it on camera, obviously, And like, hey, these are things. And then because I'm an affiliate, I'm like, hey, click my link to subscribe, and stuff like that. And that's what's going to be. And I get like a 2-month period of affiliation. If 3 people sign up in that 2-month period, then we keep going. If we don't get at least 3 people, then they stop being affiliated with us. And that makes perfect sense business-wise. You don't want to have just someone with you this whole time. They're not making any, if they're not getting people to subscribe to them so that they get their own food boxes. So it's an interesting idea they're doing where they're importing food boxes, and there's got to be a lot of stuff with customs they got to figure out, huh? Like, it's interesting because it's like only like $10, $15, I think, to subscribe. I'm like, considering all this, like, the number of snacks they have to buy and stuff, and then shipping and all that, it can't just be 50. I think it's maybe 20 or 25. I have to double check that. But that is a thing that we're going to be doing eventually, and the first one's going to be Brazil because of the Olympics. Last month was Taiwan. I really wanted to do that one, but we didn't sign up fast enough for the affiliation, and the reason why they want to affiliate with us is because we hit 10k subs, so people are looking at us now. This is interesting. If I want to get in with Square Enix, though, 100k subs. That's what I want to do. If I can get there, Square Enix. Square Enix makes a lot of games. If we can get in with Square Enix, that would be awesome. You only need 5k followers on Twitch, but you also need to have a sub button. And we're not going to get there. We don't Twitch enough. I'm going to Twitch. I'm going to try to Twitch every day, 2 to 3 hours a day, every single day, if possible. But if you want to get you want to get that sub button, you want to get all that stuff, you got to be Twitching for like 8 hours a day. We're not going to hit that point. But still, 2 to 3 hours a day, I feel is pretty good. Keeps me connected with the community that comes to the Twitches, and just stuff like that. And just, there you go. It's not like I'm doing Smite anymore, so I won't be as angry. Like, Overwatch, of course, makes me a bit very amped up, but I'm not usually as angry. I'm more just disappointed than angry compared to what Smite would do to me. Smite made me rage. Overwatch just makes me disappointed when my teammates just play very poorly, and that's just how it is. Yeah, it's called Universal Yums. That's what it's called. And I'm gonna go to the website really quick here. How much is the box? So the boxes are, so you subscribe for 1 through 6 months, you enjoy your Yums. Yeah, it's called Universal Yums. If anyone's interested in it, don't subscribe until after we do the affiliation. Let me see here. How much is it to buy these things is the question. It is $13? That's it? $13 for a box of 6 snacks or more, $25 for a box of 12 or more snacks. And it's free shipping in the US. It's interesting. And okay, so there you go. So whether you want like some snacks or a bajillion snacks, that's how it works out. And yeah, and they're doing Rio because of the Olympics. I don't know what next month will be. And we get 2 months of this. And so if 3 people subscribe to it, then bam, we well, through our link, then we get to keep doing it. And that really depends on that. People did we got a good reception on the unboxings, so that's cool. I did not know unboxings was a thing until we did it. I'm like, it was interesting watching like Angry Joe does unboxings. Not that much right now, but he's done unboxings, and Jesse Cox doing unboxings. Like, I find it kind of interesting seeing these things. I'm like, yeah, let's try it out, and that's what we did. And unboxings are fun. As messy as the unboxings were, it's fun to unbox. It is fun. It's weird, right? Considering the psychology of that, I'm really curious why that is a thing. Like, well, you can also ask, like, why is LP a thing and this and that, but I don't know. It's interesting psychology on that one. I'm very curious about that. Although I was neuroscience. Neuroscience is the mechanics. Psychology, of course, is, thought processes and all that stuff. I'm curious about the psychology and not the mechanics on this one. Mechanics is freaking ridiculous. I've seen some stuff. Just talk about this really quick. When I was in neuroscience, they're putting like electrodes to brains, to shavings of brains, like just one thin layer of a brain. They're putting electrodes to it just to see how things react and signals and all that. It's at least another 50, 100 years on brain scanning and all that stuff, because we're just so barely touching the surface on that. We're trying to figure things out. Like, if you've ever gone to college and had a psychology class, they ask you to be a test subject so you can get, well, you're required to be a test subject, at least when at my college. And they put, like, a thing on you with a gel, and it's scanning your brain while you're answering questions or reacting to things and stuff like that. And when you're answering questions, you're asked not to blink. And the reason why that is because every time you blink, your brain waves just freak out. So you're asked not to blink that much when you're making decisions. It's just an interesting thing. Okay, let's talk about No Man's Sky. 10 minutes in, let's talk about No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, as you'll see from the footage, I don't know how much footage we're going to use. I recorded like an hour of me playing. I meant for it to only be half an hour. I played for an hour. No Man's Sky is... It's nothing kind of new while being a couple new things. Like just talking about No Man's Sky, the game itself, and we'll talk about just people. No Man's Sky is you're exploring a planet. There's a lot of things to explore on the planet, and then you can get on your ship and fly to another planet and explore that planet. And different planets have different kind of biomes to them. Like, each planet's a different kind of biome. And there's, like, procedural random generation of creatures on these planets, and landmarks, and things you can learn from, and life forms, and just stuff like that. Like, all these things are supposed to be just randomly generated, or procedurally randomly generated, or something like that. There's, like, an algorithm going on. And I've only been on 2 planets, so I'm still early on in the game. It's only been 2 hours. I'm enjoying it, but it's not like a kick-ass enjoyment. It's just maybe an abnegation kind of enjoyment. Just, I'm having fun exploring this planet kind of thing. Like, it's like you just find something new and you're exploring it. That's what it is. And it's fun in that way, just exploring and experiencing a planet as you're walking around and just checking things out. It's kind of like with Skyrim, if you're just an explorer type, where you're just checking out all these things, just looking at stuff. It's like that, but the entire game is just looking at nature. That's really what it is. You can interact with creatures, feed them food. Some are aggressive, you can kill them. There's a lot of mining in this game. Here's the thing. Minecraft, all I did was mine. I'm a miner. That's all I do. Miner's gonna mine. That's what I do. I'm a digger. Digger gonna dig. That's what I do. Every game, all I do is dig, gather resources, and I just give it to Jinx and she builds castles. That's how we played the game. I dig things, she builds things. I break, she makes. That's what happens. And so No Man's Sky is only breaking. You're only digging things to, like, get upgrades and to not build stuff, but to upgrade your equipment, or to sell materials, or to make other materials to make better equipment, or better weapons, or not weapons, but like a better drill, or better not armor, but like your suit. Just better things to explore better. You're not building anything in this game. It's not Minecraft. You're only exploring, you're only breaking things down so you can just repair stuff and maintain yourself and make your ship better, and you can sell this stuff to buy better ships, things like that. That's what you're doing in this game. And for that, I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it on PC, by the way. Jinx is playing on controller, I'm playing it on keyboard with mouse. The game is very obtuse in explaining anything to you. Very bad design. When it comes, like, game design is very poor in this game. Like, the idea of the game is nice and all, but the game design is poor. The UI is very okay. How you navigate the menus of the game is very okay. There's points where you're highlighting something with the mouse, and the information is being shown to you, but half of it's cut off by the bottom half of the screen. It's like stuff like that. The game's just very obtuse in explaining anything about itself. You have to just figure it out by just doing it. And I guess if you're from Minecraft, that's fine, because Minecraft just started, you don't know what the hell you're doing either. So I guess that's fine. But it is extremely obtuse. That's just the best word for it. You don't know what you're doing. You have to figure it out on your own, what's going on and stuff like that. The only thing the game explains to you is, here's what you need to repair your ship. Because you start out with your ship effed. So you got to repair your ship, and now you can fly around. And it did not explain anything to me at all. Like, I didn't understand. Like, so I pretty much almost screwed myself over. Like, if we get deep, like, I don't know if Jinx is going to show the entire hour. Like, may as well, maybe. It might be boring because it's just the gameplay, music, and everything later on. But I get in my ship, and I fly into the stars. And what I did not understand was I was supposed to stop boosting at some point so I can look for other planets to go into. And so I used just most of my fuel, almost stranding myself in space. I almost stranded myself in space until I realized, oh, I should actually see if I can get... Because I was assuming there was going to be a star map or something. But no, there's no star map. It's just you're supposed to actually at some point slow down and actually look for planets. I didn't realize that. I almost put myself in a position where it would take me maybe a couple days to drift to a place. Or a couple hours to drift to a planet. That's how I almost screwed myself over. And I would have been pissed. I probably would have been pissed if I did that, because the game does a very bad job of explaining itself. It does an awful job of explaining itself. This game has so many flaws to it, but when you get to actually play the game, it's fun, but there's so many flaws. There are so many freaking flaws to it. I just don't know. I understand the mixed reviews that are coming out. and just the people who can't even review it because they got it on PC and they can't even play the damn thing. I understand that. My experience with the game, it had a lot of hitching at the beginning, some slowing at the beginning. Now it's not hitching at all, except when I'm in space a little bit. So it's better for me. We're running a GTX 970, I believe, so not bad for us. And it's working out fine. It's working out fine. I think Jinx had some hitching as well. Well, if you look at, TV he did his video on, he was getting a lot of hitching, and it was just not very playable. And he's got, one of the best PCs ever, and he's just not able to play it. You got people who can play it perfectly, you got people who can't play it perfectly. That's just how PC things are, and that's just, well, crap. That's just how it is. When it comes to PC, some people know how to port, some people don't know how to port, and we're seeing that right here. And so No Man's Sky is having this big thing. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. And the problem is, it's gonna blow you away, at least at first, if you buy into it. But there's a lot of people who are just saying, about 10 or something hours in, it just gets really samey. And that's what happens to space exploration games. It's just gonna happen because there's only so much generation that can happen. Eventually it gets samey. Me and Jinx played Starbound for so many hours, I could look it up right now. I'm gonna look it up right now. How many hours have we played Starbound? Starbound. We have played for 28 hours. I feel like we've played a lot more than 28 hours. And at a point, we're just exploring, and it just gets really samey. It's like, well, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. We've gathered everything, so we're kind of just done. And so we stopped playing Starbound. That was Starbound. Terraria, luckily, just has a lot of stuff going on that it eats up a crap ton of time. We have spent a lot more time on Terraria than Starbound. Terraria, let's see how many hours on that one. That would be Terraria. There we go. 136 hours. And that's us just trying to get everything, not us just having fun just building. Well, we're having fun doing stuff, but as always, it's just me exploring. Jinx is doing the building. That's what happens. And we fight the bosses, and Terraria is pretty good because you have a lot of things you can do in that game. So we've had a lot of fun with Terraria, and so 136 hours, pretty good there. We know people who've probably spent maybe 1,000 hours on that game. And Terraria is a fun game, and there's just a lot to do in there. And it becomes a question of how much is there to actually do in No Man's Sky. And that's something you won't really know too far in. I think Jim Sterling spent a couple hours on it, maybe... Angry Joe at 10 hours said the game was just wearing thin already. And then I know Jim Sterling played it for a good while, and he's like, it's just an okay game. And people flipped out, and he got DDoS attacked and everything. People just went nuts on Jim Sterling, because, it's an okay game. How can you... I don't understand how there's so much fandom, so much fanboying for a game that was barely out for 1 or 2 days. It's not like this is DC or Marvel or Disney or Nintendo or Sony or Xbox. This is a game where maybe there's a good number of people who play Joe Danger, but this ain't Joe Danger. This is No Man's Sky. It's a whole new thing. And there are people who were just expecting more of the game than there was in it. And part of it is the developers being too vague about things and stuff like that. And there are people who thought it was going to be Minecraft in space. They thought they're going to be able to build things, they thought they're going to be able to do this, they're going to be able to do that, and they can't, and they're now really upset. You want to get unless you build things? Play Planet Explorers. Play that game. I think it's still in early access, trying to get out of that. You got a planet, you can build things. I think it's voxel building as well. You can custom make your own weapons, you can make a track, you can make vehicles. You can make a lot of things in that game because they're doing all the dimensions. You can add little blocks to everything. You want a game that lets you build anything? Planet Explorers is your game. Definitely your game right there. It's more MMO-y, that game, though, but that's definitely the game for you if you want to just make stuff on a planet. That is the game to play. But, I don't know. I think what helped me out is I never gave a shit about No Man's Sky, and so I'm enjoying it. And is that the thing to talk about? Is it hype? Is it all the hype there was for Man of Steel, only for so many people to be disappointed? Was it all the hype behind Batman vs. Superman, which never should have existed anyway, because fuck, it's Batman vs. Superman? What do you think was going to happen? Especially because Zack Snyder is directing it. Suicide Squad, so much hype. This is going to be the one. It's going to be the one that's going to just save the DC universe. And so many people are pissed about that movie. And there are people who are diehard defending that movie. That is not the hill to die on. You do not die on that hill. That is not it. That was not the best movie. It was a mess. It was an enjoyable mess. It's like a 5-year-old playing in the mud. That is the fun you're going to have with that. If you're just enjoying yourself, just getting dirty, just being just not really thinking and just having fun, Suicide Squad's for you. The second you put any thought into it, it is a pile of, I'm not going to say crap, but it is a pile. It's a pile of things. Not the best. I enjoyed it. I might have been a little too kind about it. Thinking about it more and more, there were just so many flaws in that movie, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it because it was very fun. Will Smith was really good. Margot Robbie was really good. Most of the characters were good. Some good, funny stuff, but tonally it was a mess. Pacing it was a mess. The writing was not very good. That's just how it is. It was not a good movie. Marvel's just doing it better. You're not a fanboy for saying Marvel's doing it better. Marvel's just doing it better. When DC actually gets their act together, people will be watching that for sure. And people are watching these movies because they keep hoping. They're hoping this is going to be the good one. And it's not. And Justice League, we'll see. Wonder Woman, we'll see. Aquaman, is he getting one? Yeah, he is. So we'll see. Flash is probably getting a movie, so we'll see. Cyborg, I don't know. If he doesn't say booyah at least once, I'll be unhappy. Just because. But I'm not at the point where I'm giving up on DC. Like, I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm hoping the next one will be good. I had no interest in Suicide Squad. I think that's probably what helped as well. I had no interest in Suicide Squad. I did not care. Jared Leto's just being a dumbass about Joker. Alright, well, that does not give me any really good hype for it. I just had no hype. I had no hype whatsoever. I come in, I saw like it was enjoyable, but I could see the flaws in it. And this is me seeing it in a vacuum. I did not see how everyone felt about it yet. That was important. The only thing I knew was Rotten Tomatoes, because people were flipping out. And for God's sakes, petitioning Rotten Tomatoes to go down. Are you stupid? Yes, you are, for writing that petition. Oh my god. Oh my god. Some people like to say they don't like putting their opinions in us. I'll put my opinion on it right now. That was stupid. That was stupid. You want to defend Suicide Squad? No. No, my friend. No. Pick a better hill to die on. Do not. This is not the way you want to go out. That's not. You don't want to be remembered as that jackass who thought Suicide Squad was great. Oh my god, no. No. I already feel bad that I was so kind about the movie. Like, I could have been meaner about it. But, like, yeah, it had some good stuff to it. Just not so great. And, yeah. I think that's everything to talk about right now. As far as movies go, I think the next one's going to be Doctor Strange, which I know nothing about, which means it's going to be an interesting one if I actually do a video on it. I don't like doing videos on movies, on things I don't really know, which is why I didn't... Well, I haven't seen Star Trek yet, but I have no intention of doing a Star Trek spoiler talk. The Star Trek, I enjoy it, but it's not my I know everything jam. Especially since it's the original cast after all. I've seen like random bits of the original series. I watched random episodes of TNG though, like quite a few. I've seen like 90 or 80% of DS9, like start to finish. We skipped certain episodes. Jinx curated. So me and Jinx watched DS9 and she curated it. She curated the F out of it where we just skip certain episodes because some of them are just, they don't push the plot or they're just not so good. And so I got to see the best of DS9, I guess. I haven't seen Voyager. Well, if Voyager wouldn't matter anyway for, because this is the original cast, like, TNG shouldn't matter, unless you got, like, young Picard or something. Voyager shouldn't matter. DS9 shouldn't matter. All those other ones just don't matter. Maybe Enterprise matters, but there's never going to be a reference to Enterprise. Everyone just likes to act like it doesn't exist. We watched Enterprise, every episode of it. I enjoyed it. I thought Bakula was a pretty good captain, an interesting kind of badass going on there. I like that one. I kind of feel like it shouldn't have ended yet. Random thing, totally would go for T'Pol. Like, how can you not? I guess she would be insufferable at the same time. T'Pol's freaking insufferable when I think about it. But, kinda hot. Let's see. I think that's everything. That's it for the vlog. That's it for the vlog. Shouldn't be anything big next week unless some controversies happen to talk about. I don't think there's gonna be anything worth talking about next week. No Man's Sky was just the big thing this week. And I'm liking it. I am liking it. That's it. I'm liking the game. It's unfortunate some people can't play it. That's not good. That's very unfortunate. I'm glad I can play it though. I'm glad I have the luck to play it. But if you got the game and you couldn't play it, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. But there you go. That right there is the vlog. I had fun talking to him from watching and listening. There's probably more to watch. Unless Jinx is just cutting through it or something. I don't know what she's going to do with it. Maybe she'll just have it all up and just watch it. But that is the vlog. I had fun talking. Hope you had fun listening and watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.